Dark Myth WuKong Chapter 22. Hope. Hearing Tang Sanzang finish, Zhu Bajie immediately leaped up, not even bothering to rub his backside anymore. He tumbled over to Tang Sanzang's side, chuckling incessantly. Tang Sanzang pondered for a moment, then said,
"Hope exists, Bajie, but you will have to endure immense suffering. If you can persevere upon success, you will obtain an incredible body. But if you cannot endure, you might disintegrate into dust, disappearing completely."
Zhu Bajie plopped onto the ground, his face blank. This choice was incredibly important. Failure meant complete soul dissipation, making even reincarnation difficult. Zhu Bajie lowered his head in silence, thinking for a long time, until an image surfaced in his mind, and at that moment, Zhu Bajie's heart became exceptionally firm.
Master, speak. Whatever the pain, old pig here can accept it. As long as I can return to a human body. Old pig can't stay like this, neither human nor ghost.
Tang Sanzang looked at Zhu Bajie's determined face and gave a barely perceptible shake of his head. Then he said,
"Previously, in the Nether Asura realm, I accidentally obtained a salvation flower."
He then recounted the details of the Salvation Flower's existence and the battle with Tongtian, though the part about the Queen of Western Liang remained somewhat vague. After finishing, Tang Sanzang paused briefly.
Just like that, the Salvation Flower, after enveloping and burning Patriarch Laojun's 8 trigrams fire, merged with me. Coupled with WuKong's drop of golden blood, it mutated into the Ethereal Salvation Flower. The Ethereal Salvation Flower not only possesses all the previous abilities, but also gained healing, magic power restoration, and even strong defensive capabilities. But the most important thing is my eyes. Because of the Ethereal Salvation Flower, it merged Patriarch Laojun's 8 trigrams fire with the karmic power I accumulated over 10 lifetimes, forming this Red Lotus Karmic Fire. And Bajie's revival depends on this Red Lotus Karmic Fire. Bajie is currently a soul body, but this mutated Red Lotus Karmic Fire of mine contains powerful life force. Normally, Red Lotus Karmic Fire relies on its internal karmic power to inflict harm. But perhaps because the karmic power on me was too heavy, a quantitative change led to a qualitative transformation, turning karmic power into life force. If Bajie can withstand this Red Lotus Karmic Fire burning continuously for 49 days, without his soul dissipating, the life force contained within the fire will attach to Bajie's soul, giving birth to a Red Lotus fire body. A body purely composed of flames. However, doing so has pros and cons. The advantage is that the fire body is immortal and indestructible and can absorb other flames to grow stronger. The disadvantage is that Bajie must endure the agony of being tempered by fierce fire for 49 days, and his previous water-based Taoist arts must be discarded, requiring him to cultivate fire-based Taoist arts instead.
Speaking for so long seemed to tire Tang Sanzang slightly. He closed his eyes to rest for a moment. As he closed his eyes, the small blood-red flower on his finger slowly vanished, and the floating Red Lotus Karmic Fire above it also disappeared. Before Tang Sanzang could open his eyes, Zhu Bajie spoke with utmost determination.
Master, it's okay. I can endure it. Back then, Monkey Bro could survive being refined in the 8 trigrams brazier for 49 days, so old pig here can too. Monkey Bro could cultivate the fiery eyes of truth, so old pig here can cultivate an unparalleled fire body. Master, let's start today. Old pig won't die, at least not before destroying Spirit Mountain.
Having spoken, Zhu Bajie's soul drifted back into the 9-toothed rake. The rake rapidly shrank to palm size. Tang Sanzang turned his head to look at Sun WuKong, noticing he seemed lost in thought. He picked up the mini nine-toothed rake from the ground and asked,
Wukong, what are you thinking?
Master, I'm thinking, what do we do now? We know Bajie's whereabouts, but I have no idea about Old Shah, Little White Dragon, and Old Bull. Old Tathagata said Old Shah and Emperor Gusham perished together, but I don't believe it. Also, Master, do we really have to refine Bajie for 49 days? He's just a soul body now. What if he can't endure it, then?
Wukong, are you afraid of this failure? Are you scared?
Master, I'm not scared. I just don't want more people to die because of me. I'd rather not seek revenge. I'd rather give up Flower Fruit Mountain.
Wukong, do you know why Bajie so resolutely agreed to let me refine him with the Red Lotus Karmic Fire?
Because Bajie doesn't want to remain a soul.
No, Wukong, you're wrong. You know Bajie well, don't you? According to his previous character, so afraid of death, I fear even if he had to remain a weapon spirit for a lifetime, Bajie wouldn't accept being tempered by fierce fire. But now, Bajie still chose this path, because in Bajie's heart, there is determination and anticipation, and also the courage to never compromise. That's why, under Tathagata's threat, Bajie could choose death over submission, resulting in being beaten into a soul state.
Master,
You, Sun Wukong, everything Bajie has now, you once had. It was you who influenced Bajie. But what about you now? Where is your anticipation? Where is your pride? Where's your undying courage? Where is your resolve to defy the entire heavenly court? We haven't been utterly defeated yet. At least, we are still alive, aren't we?
Sun Wukong hung his head low, bending his knees, burying his face deeply between them. Suddenly, the entire cave fell silent, utterly silent. Apart from the occasional crackling of the fire, only the sound of Sun Wukong's tears hitting the ground could be heard, so faint it was almost inaudible. After a long, long time, Sun Wukong lifted his head again, speaking to Tang Sanzang.
Master, I understand. What's mine, I will definitely take back, no matter how difficult.
Tang Sanzang smiled, a smile like a warm spring breeze.
Good. Next, I must use the Red Lotus Karmic Fire to reconstruct Bajie's body. After 49 days, we will set out. Even if we have to traverse the 7 realms, we must find the other 3 pieces of the 5-colored divine stone. At the same time, we'll inquire about the whereabouts of Wu Jing and the others, and the current situation in the heavenly court. During the time I'm creating Bajie's body, Wukong, you should thoroughly feel out your current power. What follows will be an arduous journey.
Yes.
At this moment, Sun Wukong's eyes were filled with dominance and seriousness. Tathagata, you can suppress me, you can defeat me. But as long as I am not dead, I will continue to fight. Until I destroy you. On the first day, Tang Sanzang used the Red Lotus Karmic Fire as a barrier, enclosing himself and the 9-toothed rake within a giant sphere. From the outside, only a large, faint red egg-shaped light could be seen, the figures inside blurry and indistinct. Sun Wukong moved to another cave, sat cross-legged, and began familiarizing himself with his new power and the insights gained from the recent life and death battle. Time flew by. On the 7th day, Sun Wukong sat meditating in the stone chamber. As a faint, almost imperceptible breeze blew past, the motionless Sun Wukong suddenly opened his eyes. Instantly, 2 beams of golden light shot out, heading straight towards the 9 hells. Suddenly, Sun Wukong paused, then drastically increased the magic power output. The already blindingly bright golden light rapidly intensified. In just a breath, the 2 beams from Sun Wukong's eyes were as dazzling as the scorching sun, impossible to look at directly. After a long while, a sigh was heard. He slowly stood up, his bones cracking like popping beans. Looking at Sun Wukong now, a protective aura flickered around him, clearly indicating his physical body had reached some kind of limit. The strength of his current body was likely comparable to ordinary immortal artifacts. He slowly rolled his neck, loosening his slightly stiff body, and muttered to himself,
7 days. Just integrating Nezha's divine stone within me, yet my strength has increased so terrifyingly. I fear now, using only 70% of my power, I could defeat the Jade Emperor, and at most suffer only minor injuries. But this is still not enough.
Finished speaking. Sun Wukong looked up towards the west, clenching his fist tightly. He knew his enemy wasn't just one person, but the entire Western Buddhist realm. Perhaps not just the West. With the heavenly court utterly destroyed, this Eastern world had likely already been occupied by the Buddhist sect. Sun Wukong shaking his head, saw the giant egg-shaped barrier. His thoughts. Everything seemed normal. Headed directly to Tang Sanzang's stone chamber. Whether Bajie could be reborn depended on whether he could endure. Thinking this, an idea sparked in Sun Wukong's mind. Reaching into his ear, he pulled out the golden cudgel, flicking it gently to resize it. Then Sun Wukong used the golden cudgel to draw another circle around Tang Sanzang's barrier. Finished, he still felt uneasy, then raised his left hand, forming a sword finger, and drew in the air. As his finger moved, a fiery red silk ribbon materialized. Looking closely, it was Nezha's famed artifact, the firmament heaven silk. Next, Sun Wukong waved his hand, and the firmament heaven silk transformed into a streak of red light, merging into the circle drawn by the golden cudgel. Seeing this double protection, Sun Wukong nodded slightly. Immediately, he transformed into a streak of light, heading towards the southern heavenly gate of the heavenly court. A moment later, Sun Wukong reappeared not far from the southern heavenly gate. Hiding behind a dark cloud, he fell into contemplation. As expected, seeing the 4 arhats guarding the southern heavenly gate confirmed his guess. In just 7 short days, the heavenly court had completely fallen under Buddhist control. What made Sun Wukong suspicious was that these 4 gate-guarding arhats felt familiar. Searching his memory, he was certain he didn't recognize these 4 arhats. Then, he closed his eyes and channeled his magic power. A moment later, a transparent beam shot from his eyes towards the 4 guarding arhats. This glance left Sun Wukong both shocked and horrified. Retracting his gaze, the veins on his right hand, gripping the golden cudgel, bulged. It turned out these 4 gate-guarding arhats were none other than the former 4 heavenly kings of the heavenly court. They were the eastern Diachtar, Ra, the southern Virhaka, the western Virharpi, Ka, and the northern Vaishrava. During the previous great battle, these 4 Dharma protector Vairas were captured by the Buddhist sect. He hadn't expected Tathagata to be so cruel as to convert the 4 Dharma protector Vajras into 4 Buddhist puppets. Buddhist puppets were made using the bodies of immortals at or above the Grand Luo Golden Immortal level as a base. Using special techniques, the souls of deceased Buddhist masters at or above the Arhat level were merged into the immortal bodies. Coupled with conversion, the two were fused, becoming Buddhist puppets that only knew how to fight. After becoming puppets, they felt no fatigue, no fear, and were absolutely loyal to Tathagata, never betraying him. Most importantly, the strength of a successfully crafted puppet would surge to double its original level. What angered Sun Wukong was that in warfare, capturing prisoners, whether killing or dismembering, was acceptable. But turning living beings into soulless shells was an immense insult to the dead. Those turned into puppets wouldn't even have the possibility of reincarnation. Looking at the 4 puppets guarding the southern heavenly gate, Sun Wukong's hatred for Tathagata deepened. However, he didn't act rashly. Carefully concealing his aura, he slipped through the southern heavenly gate at a speed that nearly tore space itself. The 4 guarding puppets detected nothing,